nice to meet you. My name is Kayla. What is your name?
I'm John.
It's nice to meet you, John. So, before we begin today, I just want to let you know that anything that you say or do between us is kept confidential unless I believe it is in fact dangerous to you or other people.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
All right. So, what is it that you are here for today?
Cocaine use disorder.
Okay. So, are you here because you're mandated to be here, or is this on your own?
I got a cocaine possession charge, so I'm mandated to be here.
Okay. When did you get that cocaine possession charge?
3-4 weeks ago.
All right. So, can you explain to me what exactly happened?
I tried to buy from an undercover police officer.
Okay. So what happened after you tried to
I was
buy?
subsequently arrested.
Okay. How long did you spend in jail?
2 weeks and I made bail.
2 weeks. Okay. What would you say your time was like while you were there?
Not as bad as I thought it would be, but
Really? Why do you say that?
you know, you hear horror stories, but also the come down was pretty bad, so just going through
Yeah.
withdrawals the whole time.
Okay. So you said that you had some withdrawals from cocaine. So when you use cocaine, is this the only substance that you typically use?
Yeah, well, it started out as like Adderall, so generally like uppers, and then it moved into cocaine.
Was Adderall the only other substance that you used?
Yes.
Okay. How often would you use Adderall?
Well, it started out like my roommate would have it in college, and I tried it then for like fun, and
Okay.
then it turned into like an everyday thing.
Turn into everyday. And how long would you say that it was an everyday thing?
It's been like 3 years, or it was 2 or 3 years on Adderall, and then it moved into cocaine about a year
Okay.
ago.
About a year ago, it turned into cocaine. And how often would you say you use cocaine?
Every day.
Okay. So what is your method of use?
Normally nasally.
Nasal?
Sometimes a nice parachute would do me good.
Okay. And when you use nasally, you said you used for about a year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say there's any type of like problems or issues with your nose or any type of physical problems from that?
I get sinus infections from it, but that's about it.
How often do you get sinus infections?
Once a month.
Okay. So when it comes to using cocaine, I just want to know a little bit more about it. So what else would you say that comes with using cocaine? Would you say that?
Like the reason why I use it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm typically an introverted person,
Okay.
so cocaine really brings me out of my shell. It's a nice party drug.
Okay. Would you say you party a lot?
Every weekend.
Every weekend? Okay. And do you use any other substances while you're on cocaine? Like, do you drink as well?
Drink, nicotine, stuff like that.
Okay. And for your drinking, how often do you drink?
Friday and Saturday. Occasionally Thursday.
Okay. So typically about a few times a week? Alright. And how often do you use nicotine?
Every day.
And how long have you been using nicotine for?
5 years.
5 years? Okay. So I want to go back to the cocaine. Is that alright?
Sure.
So for the cocaine, would you say that you have built up a tolerance over the years?
Definitely.
Yeah. What would you say that you, from the beginning to now, what's the difference?
Like in its effect on me, the difference in its effect.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you could do like a little line, like maybe 0.2 of a gram,
Okay.
and you know it'd keep you up and running for an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. And now it's I need 2 or 3 grams to get me through a night.
Okay. And you said that you use cocaine daily?
Yeah.
So you.
Well, it's a lot heavier on the weekend when I'm out with friends partying than
Okay.
it is during the week.
What is the triggers that makes you, that when you first wake up every day and you think, I want to go try some cocaine?
It's just like people need their morning coffee, right?
Okay. That's how you see it, as like a morning coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alrighty. So would you say that you would want to cut down on using cocaine?
Probably. It's definitely not healthy for me.
Okay. And when you get cocaine, who do you usually get it from?
My drug dealer,
Okay. Is it usually the same person?
usually.
Okay. Is that like a unsafe environment, or is it somebody that you are?
This one not so, but past ones have been.
Okay. What's not so safe about this one?
No, this one's pretty safe.
Oh, this one is, but not past ones.
Mhm.
So what's been unsafe about the past ones?
Oh, I've had a gun pulled on me quite a few times.
Really? How
When
did
you buy
that make
large
you feel?
amounts and you have large amounts of money on you, and you pull it out, it didn't make me feel great.
How did you get out of that situation?
I gave him my money.
I'm very sorry to hear that. It's definitely a big loss. I'm sorry. Would you say that you have taken a lot of time to obtain or use or recover from the drug?
It's definitely taken a big chunk of my life.
Yeah.
Like,
Does your family or friends know that you use?
friends, yes. Family, no.
Okay. But you've been able to keep this sort of secret from them for a while?
Well, I don't see my family all that often, so.
Okay. So that's how you've been able to keep it on the down low? All right. All right, so let's go to the drinking. So you said you only do that a few times a week?
It's more of a social thing than.
More just social? You don't really have any issues or problems?
No, I definitely not like cocaine.
Okay. And what about the nicotine?
That's just something I've had since like senior year of high school.
Senior year? All right. And for the nicotine, do you think that you have a withdrawal from that? From nicotine?
I don't think so. I've never really tried to quit, so.
You've never tried to quit? Okay. Alrighty. So have you, is this the first time you've ever been into legal trouble with?
Yes,
using
this
substance?
is the first time I've ever been in any sort of legal trouble.
Your first time, okay. Have you ever considered going to any treatment options or possibly even NA?
Not really. This is really the first time I've considered doing anything towards putting it down or getting sober, I guess you could say.
Is that something you would like to work towards?
I think so.
Yeah? What would you say is the first steps that you would like to take to working towards this?
I don't really know. I think that's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. I'm happy you're here. It's a good thing that you are here. And I think that it takes a lot to tell yourself, I really do need to find other options. And I'm happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Of course. I think that it would be very beneficial if we started looking at maybe NA.
Okay.
Do you know what NA is or what it entails?
Narcotics Anonymous. That's about as much as I know about it.
That's about it. Would you like to know a little bit more about it?
Sure.
So NA, as you said, is Narcotics Anonymous. I've actually attended a few myself just for, experience to see what it's like. Because if I'm going to work with clients, I want to know what it's like for them to be able to go to these things as well, right? So I think when you go to these, it can be definitely scary because you don't know what to expect. You don't know who's there. Maybe you might know someone there.
Yeah.
Kind of out of your comfort zone. But it's probably one of the most accepting programs that you could probably be a part of. Because there's people that are also in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
There's people that are even worse. Some people are struggling with other addictions and are a lot farther in their substance use than what you seem to be. And I think that maybe you should would you want to give it a thought or give it a try?
Sure.
Sure?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I can put you down for NA possibly, and we can look at some other options for when and where. Do you have a car to get there?
I do have a car.
You have transportation?
I do.
Awesome. So do you have a job currently?
I do.
You do? So where do you work?
I work for a landscape architecture and engineering firm.
Really? That's amazing. How do you like being in landscape architecture?
It's okay. It's kind of stressful.
Stressful? Why is
It's
it
not really
stressful?
what I wanted to do with my life, but
Really? Why is that?
it's just not where I saw myself going. Does that make sense?
Where did you see yourself?
I honestly have no idea.
No idea.
I never really thought about it.
Yeah, that's okay. It's all right. You ended up in a really awesome field, and there's a lot of good money there. Would you say that your cocaine or other substance use disorders has put you in a predicament for this job in the future?
I haven't really thought about it. I don't think so, but it's a possibility.
A possibility?
It's something that hasn't really crossed my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's okay. It's something that we probably should think about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at from the information that you've given me about, your withdrawal, some of the interpersonal problems that you've had, the cravings, the putting you in danger,
Mm-hmm.
and from my own assessment, it seems that you do have a substance use disorder to cocaine.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Can't say I didn't expect it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Why do you think that you didn't expect it?
I don't know. I just kind of saw it coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been a few years, so
Yeah.
it's hard to kick a habit that you've had for several years.
It is. It's very hard, especially if it's a behavioral aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any type of inpatient, outpatient programs that you've possibly considered for cocaine use disorder? Or is this something that you've thought that maybe you could try to quit yourself?
I haven't really thought about it because this is the first time I've really tried to quit, so I guess we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. I think that we should definitely look into some other options for our second visit,
Okay.
such as maybe an outpatient or like inpatient program to
Mhm.
try and maybe help you find better alternatives other than using cocaine. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So for our next visit, let's look at maybe some outpatient, possibly some inpatient. And for these programs, would you want to be in West Virginia or would you want to go out of state?
I'd probably like to stay in West Virginia.
In state?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Definitely, we can look into that. There's definitely a few programs that are really good in West Virginia. I know a few that would probably be really, really good for your recovery from
Okay.
this. Other than that, do you think that there are any other issues that you would like to talk about today?
I think that's all I came in for.
Perfect. All right, so for our next visit until then, I would like for you to try to see if you can do it on your own, because it seems like you are a little unsure about using inpatient or an outpatient program.
Mm-hmm.
So I think until our next visit, which I'm going to schedule, today is Sunday. Would you be free next Sunday?
Next Sunday I'm busy, but 2 weeks from now would probably be.
2 weeks from now? All right, so Sunday in 2 weeks. In the meantime, is there any way that you think you could try to cut down on some of the other substances you've used?
Other substances or just cocaine?
Specifically cocaine, but possibly even
Nicotine,
your nicotine or
alcohol?
alcohol, yes.
I'd probably cut down on alcohol, but I think nicotine would be like the last hurdle to go over.
Okay, what about cocaine though?
Probably try and cut down on that.
Okay, so for cocaine, just so that we're both on the same term,
Mm-hmm.
for cutting down, what's your definition of cutting down? Because right now you said that you use it daily, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kind of weaning myself off of it, like maybe still using daily, but not as much until I eventually get to the point where it's not daily.
Okay, so how much daily would you say?
Right now during the week it's like probably a gram a day, 3 grams a day on the weekend.
Okay.
So maybe like half a gram on the weekday, and a gram and a half on the weekend just to start out,
Okay.
and slowly go from there.
Half a G on the weekday. And how much did you say on the weekend?
Like a gram and a half.
1.5 on the weekend. Okay. So let me give you this little bit of challenge, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's try maybe the 0.5 throughout the week. And then on the weekend, maybe at 1 instead of 1.5. Do you think we could try that?
There's no hurt in trying.
Good. I like that. The fact that you are willing to try different opportunities says a lot about you.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells me that you're resilient and you're willing to make a change. So until then, let's work on that within these 2 weeks. Maybe on the second week, maybe even cut it down a little bit less.
Okay.
All right? And if you struggle with cutting that down until then, we can come back and maybe look at our other options such as inpatient or outpatient.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Good.
Mhm.
All right. Well, it was nice meeting with you today, John.
Nice meeting you too.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.